Greetings, friends, and welcome back to Ora News on this rainy Friday afternoon. It is now time for our English Flash News edition, and as normal, I'm Daniel Cook, your host, Monday through Saturday. In today's news, the man accused of the quadruple murder several days ago was ordered to appear today before the court of Tirana. During his hearing, Mr. Giovanni declared that he remembered absolutely nothing about the night on which the crime took place. This short declaration was made by the son of a former socialist deputy who stands accused of being the killer in the incident of November 4th, in which 4 people were gunned down. It seems like Mr. Giovanni is not receiving much support from his family in this matter. None of the members of his family were present in the courtroom today, and it has also been learned that they refused to provide a lawyer for him. Constantin Giovanni did give the name of a specific lawyer for his defense, but that lawyer was not present at the court, prompting the judge to assign him a temporary lawyer. The prosecution requested that Giovanni be kept under lock and key, and this request was granted by the court. The prosecution stated that the serial number of the crime weapon had been removed, and if the perpetrator had not been caught at the scene, it would have been very difficult for the police to track him down or prove that he was guilty. The operation against the theft of electricity continues, and it has been said that it will be expanded until it has checked out every home in Albania. The statement was made today by the Minister of Energy and Industry and backed up by the Minister of Economic Development and Trade. The Minister of Energy gave warning that in due time, the police will visit every single house to prevent electricity theft from continuing. He added that 10 days after this operation began, they have been able to increase the revenue of the energy sector by the amount of 542 million lek. On his part, the Minister of Economic Development appealed to all citizens to cooperate with the law and to pay their bills. So far in October, the revenue generated by electricity bills is 25% higher than it was in October of last year, largely thanks to this crackdown. Meanwhile, the electricity operation in Elbasan has left dozens of families without electric power. They gathered together to protest, making the claim that they cannot afford these bills. They complain that their electricity bills are being sent to them with amounts that are much higher than they should actually be. The Democratic Party has been hard at work preparing their political lineup for the next local elections. It seems that the party has returned to their methods of 2005, in which they selected people from the civil society in order to create the lineup that won the elections. Nearly a decade has passed since the head of the Democratic Party, Lulzim Basha, presented the party's coordinators, who were selected from the ranks of the civil society. Now the party is taking steps once again to fortify their political ranks. The head of the opposition made the statement that the Democrats intend to do everything in their power in order to bring a positive change to the country. This year, the Democratic Party has selected several candidates who have studied abroad, as well as some public figures that have already been politically active during these last few years. The Serbian media is saying that the country is going to be under security lockdown for the visit of our Prime Minister, Edi Rama. 3 days before the Prime Minister's planned visit to Serbia, the local Serbian media reports that Belgrade is going to be, quote, under siege in order to guarantee maximum safety conditions. The Serbian media are saying that the local authorities are going to be taking extreme security measures, much like they did in the visits of President Vladimir Putin, the American Vice President Joe Biden, and the former U.S. Secretary of State Hillary Clinton. Sources say that thousands of police forces will be standing at the ready in order to detect and prevent any possible incidents. The visit of the Albanian Prime Minister was scheduled to take place in October, but after the incidents in the soccer match between Serbia and Albania, his visit was postponed until November 10th. The Socialist Party has openly criticized some of the new taxes that were presented in the new fiscal package. Several deputies of the majority have stated that specifically they are skeptical about the new circulation tax. They requested that the Ministry of Finance should analyze and present the effects that this tax will have before making a decision. Afterward, the Minister of Finance spoke up about the issue. He stated that this tax will not influence prices and will be used to protect the environment. During the Law Commission, the Minister of Finance presented the new budget for 2015. He made the statement that, unfortunately, municipalities all over the country will have to operate with smaller funding. According to the new package that was presented, the 2015 budget for providing medical care is going to be about 30% lower than it was last year, casting serious doubt on the governmental promise of free health care in the near future. The Democratic Party has released a statement saying that the new budget of 2015 is sure to increase the poverty level in our country. Once again, they blame the government for what they consider to be a bad situation. The Democratic MPs of the Economic Commission stated that instead of improving the situation, the new budget is going to create even more problems than we already have. They made the strong accusation that the government is only trying to protect its own friends and clients through the introduction of this budget. It has been released that the Ministry of Environment is going to have a budget of almost 2 billion lek for the coming year of 2015. Some of the most important projects for this ministry are the protection of Albania's rivers and the proper recycling of waste. Sources stated that the Ministry of Environment will have a budget of $23 million at its disposal to put to use in protecting the forests. The ministry also intends to request further financial aid from some of its donors in order to monitor the pollution of our country's air. Students from the Faculty of Geology and Mining are continuing to protest the recent government decision, which gave their faculty away to the Supreme Court. The students have put together a petition that they sent to the President, to the Parliament, and to the Prime Minister. In the petition, the students request the cancellation of the decision that was made on November 5th. They say that their request is not negotiable and that their faculty needs investment in order to survive. There is some news that may be positive from the politically unstable situation in Kosovo. The opposition coalition in Kosovo, which is made up of 4 opposition parties, has decided to withdraw from their request to elect the head of the parliament. This decision may solve the political crisis in the country. Representatives from this coalition have stated that they will vote for the candidate of the Democratic Party of Kosovo, which is currently governing the country. They added that they will decide their stance on the Prime Minister of the country at a later time. The home of a famous and historic Albanian author is falling into shambles, and there is some question about what is going to be done with it. The house belonged to Father Gjergj Fishta, who is sometimes referred to as the Albanian Homer. It is an important landmark and a cultural point of interest for the Albanians. The Director of National Culture in Shkodra said that first he must resolve a matter of ownership of the land, and then he hopes to begin restoring the property. According to him, the Institute of Cultural Monuments must solve the ownership issue, since it does not fall within the jurisdiction of the Directory of National Culture. For the second time in the last 6 months, businessmen from Kosovo have generously offered financial assistance in order to keep this treasured cultural monument alive. This has been the English Flash News edition at 6 o'clock. We hope you'll join us again tomorrow for more Albanian news in English, right here on Aura News. Thank you, and good night.